So I've been noticing a really common pattern within the news systems around us. And you know what? It has to do with sports and games, and that's stuff I study anyway. I thought I would talk to you about it. The first thing you have to understand is how news is made. And there really is a pattern, and it really can be figured out pretty easily. In fact, it's kind of funny. It's based on the idea of sports, or sports journalism. I know this because I was a sports journalist for a little while. I was a sports photographer for a local TV station, and I met a lot of really cool people, and there's some people who are still in the industry and are just absolutely amazing. If you want to talk more about that industry stuff, talk to them, not me. I was only there for a little while. But, however, what I did notice was that a lot of the stuff we were showing, or a lot of the stuff that had emotional responses, was in fact based on the same ideas of sports. So the first thing you have to understand about sports is we're not showing you everything. We are not showing you, everything that the group did. We're just giving you the highlights. We're just giving you the most emotional matters. Not only that, but we're giving you the matters that you would be most interested in. So, you have to understand that we're going to have a us versus them. The home team versus the other team. I always had to show the highlight reel of, the best moves from the home team as opposed to the opposing team. The opposing team had 12 home runs in a row. Not going to show a single one, but I am going to show you that double play made by our home team. A couple of the home runs, yeah, if they're good. But the home team does in fact have the advantage. And you have to understand that when you're reading or watching any news things. See what their home team is, and then you can see how they're writing it. The second thing about it is we are trying to make it emotional. We're trying to make it as interesting as we can. So when we show people and we show responses by the crowd and by other people, we're going to show you the nutcases, the guys who have gone, just over the top, the guys covered in face makeup and have these signs that say, "Yeah, my team rules!" In reality, every sport you ever go to is actually kind of boring. It's a kind of a joke amongst video people. You ask, "So, what was the score?" to our producer or to the director, and he'll just give you a blank stare, like, "Oh, that wasn't my job." And it's true. Our job was to show you the emotional response of everything, to show you how great it was. It wasn't actually to tell you what happened or what the score was. And you have to realize that the score to us is just this secondary thing. To you it's important, to us not so much. And that's really important when you understand video and the way it's being produced and the way it's being presented. This is no offense to journalism. They have to make a 30-second or even a 10-second little show reel of what happened. And they have to decide, okay, what is important? What will my audience want? And that is really important to think about, is the sports highlight reel. You also have to realize that the vast majority of fans of whatever group you're talking about are going to be pretty boring. Let's see now. The Occupy Wall Street people were very boring. They just sat there and played the drums every now and then. They didn't do a lot, but we had to show them pictures of them protesting and stuff. They even set up, this is not a joke, they set up, places for the police to stand, and them protesting against the police, and, posing and be like, "I'm protesting against the police! Yeah!" And that really did happen. That really was what was happening. But we couldn't say it out loud, because then you'd find out that it was actually really boring. The same thing happened with the, that right-wing group, Tea Party, the Tea Partiers. Most of their meetings, I actually had a buddy go and try to shoot one of them, and he was there for 5 hours, and he said they just sat there and listened to speeches. So he shot a bunch of people with signs, he shot a bunch of people, looking angry, and, he gave a highlight reel of it, and he said, well, this is what happened. What you saw was a bunch of crazy people, or a bunch of people passionate about what they were doing, and very, very strong-willed about it, when in reality they were just kind of sitting there listening to speeches. That's the highlight reel. That's the entire thought of how a video works and how it should be made. Keep that in mind whenever you're watching a video or anything. Use the same ideas that you see with sports as you would with anything else.